arrive into your practice, into your seat. And a few moments just to notice how you are feeling today. Without any expectations of how you should feel or how you might be feeling, just notice in this moment, how are you feeling? Has it already shifted from when you first woke up today? Notice how your breath feels. Does it feel full, deep, slow? Or is it a little bit more fast and shallow? And is it possible to slow it down? Make it a little deeper, a little slower. And we're going to find a rhythm to the breath. We're going to follow the ratio of 4-4-7. So we're going to inhale for 4. We're going to hold the breath for 4. And then we're going to exhale for 7. So finding your rhythm of your breath. And use my voice just as a guide. If you're not exactly in my rhythm, then just counting to yourself when you're ready. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. And holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round to yourself. Maybe you can extend the inhale, the hold. Maybe you can extend the exhalation. And then allowing your breath, when you've finished that, just to find its own rhythm again. You're noticing that space, noticing any shifts, any changes from the breath. And then we're going to circle the arms to the sky as we inhale, reach up to the sky, maybe even lifting your gaze towards your fingertips. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, let your chin drop, looking down towards the chest. Inhale again, circle the arms, reach them up to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the heart. Let your head drop. Once more, inhale, arms up. And exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. Let your head drop. And then this time, take your hands behind your head just to stretch out the back of the neck, between the shoulder blades, chin towards the chest. Not necessarily pulling on the head a lot, but just allowing the weight of the hands to give you a little extra stretch. Breathing into the back body. And then we're going to open the elbows. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the chest. Filling all that space with breath. And then exhale, elbows in, chin towards chest, rounding the back, maybe even a little more. Inhale, lifting the heart, opening deep breath in. And exhale, slight round. And one more time. Inhale, open the chest, open the elbows, open the throat. And exhale, come to neutral. Let your head go back to the horizon. And let's drop the hands by our sides, to the floor by our sides. And then inhale your right arm up to the sky. Big reach up, and then exhale over to the left into your side bend. Inhale, we're going to bring both arms up to the sky. We're just going to cartwheel over to the other side. Exhale, reaching across. Inhale, both arms up. Reach up, side body's long. Exhaling, hand to the floor, side bend. Inhaling, back up to top. Exhaling into the side bend again. Now this time we're going to hold. So inhaling to prepare. Find a lot of lift and space. Exhale, left hand comes down to the floor. Reach it across and hold here. Spin your ribs, your chest towards the sky. Maybe the gaze is up. That puts too much strain on your neck. Just keep looking down. Let's take one more breath here. Really planting that right hip to the floor as we stretch across and breathe into that space. And then inhale. Come all the way up, both arms, spine tall, sides of the body long. Exhale, the right hand comes to the floor. Reach it over and across. And 2 more breaths here. Sinking that left hip to the floor. Maybe the gaze is up to the ceiling or maybe the gaze is down. Last breath. Energize through your fingertips. Really reach through the hand. And then inhale, we're going to come all the way up, hands up to the sky. Exhale, place the hands down in front of you and take a little bow forward. Walking the hands forward, letting the head come down. Doesn't have to be all the way to the floor, however far, even just a little lean forward is enough. Breathing into the back body. Shoulders soften. Just cultivating a slower, deeper rhythm of the breath. Using that breath to create more space in that front hip. And let's take one more breath here. And we're going to inhale, rise up, reach the arms up to the sky. We're going to lift our knees. Notice which leg is in front so we can do the other side in a moment. And then keep lifting your knees, squeeze the heels of your feet in towards your sit bones. So we're coming into our Navasana, our boat pose. We're going to lift the feet up in line with the knees and draw your knees together. Beautiful. And then reaching up through your fingertips, feel that you're rooting down through the sit bones. Find a lot of length and space. And then let's reach the hands forward and try to balance here. We're going to make it a little bit more challenging. We're just going to do little rocks, just tiny rocks, back and forth. Now your rocking might be very, very subtle. Or if you're feeling a little bit more spontaneous, you can let yourself rock back and then try to rock forward, finding your boat pose again. Rocking around the Christmas tree. Let's take one more little rock. Sitting up really tall, lift your head up to the sky and then recross. Yeah, come back up and then recross so that the other leg now is in front. Hands come to the floor in front of you. A moment just to lift the spine and then walk the hands forward and find your forward fold on your second side. And getting cozy here, softening the shoulders. And feeling the hips nice and grounded. Maybe you're still, or maybe there's movement, exploring with a little sway from side to side. And let's take one more breath there. And then we're going to slowly walk our hands back up. And we're going to come back into our boat pose. So bringing those knees together, lifting your feet up. Now you can keep your feet lifted. That's going to be really challenging. Or you could always tap your toes to the floor. Stay lifted on your sit bones, but with the help of your feet down might help you a little bit more here. We're going to take little twists, reaching back. So let's inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then as we exhale, we're going to reach the right hand towards the back corner of the mat. Try to keep lifted with that left arm. Inhale, bring it all back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Left hand reaches back. Inhale, good. Reach back up to the sky. Exhale, reach the right hand. Now, if you're finding that that's taking it in your back, if your back is taking that rather than the core, bring your toes to the floor. And that way your back is a lot more protected, supported, but you're still getting that work in the abdominals. Let's do that one more time. Reaching the right arm back. Breathe out. As you breathe in, bring everything back up to the top. Find length. Exhale, breathe out. Reach back with the left hand. Beautiful. Inhale, breathe in, reach the arms up. Take the feet back to the floor. Lift out of the lower back. Find a lot of space and room. And then exhale the hands down by your sides. Let's open the chest. Hands come back behind us. Interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders back and try to find your hands to the floor. Root your knuckles on the ground. And rolling the shoulders back, opening in that space of the chest, the front body. And if you want to take that a little deeper, just walk your hands back, walk your arms back a little further, pulling your chest more towards the front of your mat. Breathing here into that space. Notice where your breath gets limited, where it's more challenging to breathe. And bring your attention there, bring your awareness there, and maybe more breath will flow in. And let's take one more breath here. Breathing open space. And then releasing, coming back up to the top. Release the arms, give the shoulders a little shrug. And we're going to take this onto all fours, onto our hands and knees. So coming over, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Laura is still lasting in her Santa Claus suit. Well done. Start to move your hips from side to side. The hats are still on. I'm impressed. Let's see how long they stay on now. Just finding a bit of movement through the body. Maybe through the neck, letting your head explore some circles, even if it's just half circles. And finding some movement through the spine. And so on the inhalation, coming into our cow pose, chin lifts, tailbone lifts. Exhaling into our cat stretch, chin towards chest, tailbone curls under. Big breath in. Feel as if you're in cow, you're pulling your belly and chest forward. Exhaling, lifting them as far away from the floor as possible. Inhale, feel that pull forward like you're going through the gateway of your arms. And exhaling, pressing the thighs towards the arms to deepen that stretch through the lower back. One more time. Exhaling here. Perfect. And then coming back to all fours, extending the right arm forward like you're going to shake someone's hand so the palm of the hand is turned in towards the center. Extending that left leg back and just taking a moment to pause there. Feel that the body is in one straight line, so we don't want that back leg higher or lower than the back hip. And start to zip up the belly, pulling up and in through the lower belly. Start to engage and turn on the muscles of your thigh, of the buttocks. Feeling really strong. And then we're going to open this into a diagonal. So the right arm goes out to the right, and that left leg starts to kick out to the left slightly. And you'll start to feel the abdominal muscles having to do a lot more work at some point. Hold here, keep firing on the back of the leg, keep reaching out through the fingertips, perhaps looking down to the mat to keep the back of the neck long. And then inhale, bring it back through center. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, pull the elbow up to the sky, and then inhale, extend, reach, hold. Exhale, child's pose, hands to the floor, knee to the floor, hips go back to the heels. Take a bow. Take a big breath. Feel the breath explore the whole back body. And then let's do that on the other side. So inhaling as we roll ourselves up, extending left arm, extending the right leg. Start to really engage the right leg, the thighs, the buttocks, even pushing back through the right foot like you're trying to hold a wall away. And pulling up and in through the lower belly. One more breath, just as we are here. And then we're going to take it into our diagonal. So opening out, left arm to the left, right leg to the right. And just finding that place where it's really challenging for the core. Try not to collapse in the middle. Keep it lifted, keep it bright. And keep the breath moving. One more breath here. And then pull it back in through center. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, elbow to the sky, rounding the back. And then inhale, reach out, hold, pause there. And exhale, hands to the floor, hips back, child's pose. Maybe even the arms slide back this time, letting the tops of the hands rest by your feet. The knees apart or together, it really depends on what you need in your body today. Let's take one more breath here. And then let's find downward facing dog. Hands slide forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips. And start to march out the down dog, bending one knee at a time, letting our weight shift from right to left leg. Using our hands to help press the ribs and the chest back to the thighs. And using that grounding sensation through both the feet and the hands to lift up the hips to the sky even more, so that we're deepening that V shape, that inverted V shape of our down dog. Take one more breath. And then we're going to walk our feet to our hands, coming into our forward fold. Staying in that forward fold as we get to the top of the mat. Body drapes over the legs. A little sway. And side to side. Let your head drop. Let the neck stretch. Releasing those vertebrae in the neck. Finding some decompression for the whole spine. And then coming to center, chin to chest, bend the knees even more. Roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Eventually coming all the way to the top, head over heart, shoulders melt down and back. Beautiful. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Feel the feet grounding into the earth. Exhale the hands back to heart center. Once more, full circle. Inhale the arms up. Exhaling, hands back to heart center. Let's find our tree pose. Shift your weight into the left foot. Right foot somewhere along the left leg. Could be the lower leg. It could be the right leg. Right leg could be the lower leg. It could be the inner thigh. And then really zipping in towards the midline. Pulling the foot to the thigh, thigh back into the foot. Even pressing the hands in towards each other. Good. Rooting down through that standing leg. Focusing the mind. And perhaps there's a soft, gentle smile on the face. And we're going to inhale, reach the fingertips upwards to the sky. Feel the whole body get long. Feel the sides of the waist get long. And we're going to try to take this into a side bend. So we're going to take our right hand to the thigh, reaching across with that left arm. Beautiful. And if your foot isn't up on the top of the thigh, maybe the hand comes to the hip rather than the thigh. Just finding your side bend here. Yes, perfect. Then we're going to bring that right arm up and reach out and across. So this is challenging the side body a little bit more. Yeah, so both arms are above the head, reaching out to the side. Beautiful, you're doing so well. Even if that foot is touching down to the floor. And then we're going to hold opposite elbows. Whoop. Holding opposite elbows, holding that side bend for one more breath. And then inhale, coming all the way back up to the sky. Release the arms down. And give your legs a little shake. My version of the candy cane. You don't really see them so much in the UK, but in America, that was the symbol of the holiday times. Candy canes with their red and white stripes. Yummy peppermint flavor. Let's try our candy cane on the other side. We're going to bring our hands back to our heart. Just take a moment to ground, to center. Perhaps you're dreaming of that sweet peppermint candy. I am. And we're going to come into our tree pose. Let your weight shift to the right leg. Foot comes to the lower leg or to the upper thigh, wherever you're feeling more stable. Now that you know where we're going, maybe you're choosing a lower option, or you could start high and then just come down as we start to play in this shape a little bit more. Finding some focus. And then finding the space and the length. Reach the fingertips to the sky. As we reach up, really hug in. Press the foot against the leg and press the leg back into the foot. Let's take the left hand to the hip. Reaching up with the right arm and then taking that arm across. Beautiful. Stay rooted. Keep finding that space. Feel the rib cage opening, lengthening. Bring your breath here. And then let's try to challenge. Extend that left arm out to the side. So both arms are in a diagonal. Breathing here. So good. And then let's take both hands to opposite elbows. So you're creating this box-like shape. Finding that side stretch a little deeper. One last breath. Oh, so good. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, release the feet down. Oh, you guys were unmovable today. Give those legs a little shake. And we're going to step the right leg back into our warrior one. Just stepping it back, making sure the feet are nice and wide widthways. Heel of the back foot down. Inhale, reaching the arms upwards to the sky, sinking down into the feet, softening the shoulders. And just take a moment to enjoy that stretch through the back of your calf, through that right leg, feeling the sides of the waist get long so that we're lifting out of the lower back. The back ribs wants to be a lot of space between the back ribs and the tailbone, the lower back area. And from here, we're going to come into eagle arms. So bringing your elbows in front of your shoulders, crossing the right elbow over the left, wrapping and binding the arms, pressing the elbows, the forearms forward. Take a breath here. Feeling your feet gripping the floor. Feel the muscles below the feet engaging. Give us a little bit more grounding and support. Awareness to the backs of the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the back of the heart. Big breath into that space. Let's take one more breath here. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the elbows to the sky. Slight lean back. Feel the weight shifting into that back foot. And then as you exhale, we're going to straighten this left leg, straightening that front leg. And we're just going to take a bow here, keeping the arms bound for a moment. And then release the arms and coming into our pyramid pose. Hands can either brace on the leg, thigh, shin, or if you're feeling a bit more supple, the hands can come to the floor. Now we haven't done so much to wake up the hamstrings yet, so take it gently. Maybe the hands are higher. If that's what you need, pull the left hip back, pull that right hip forward. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to walk our hands back up the legs. And we're going to step forward. Right foot steps back to the left. Give the legs a little shake. And then let's do the other side. Left leg steps back. Find your warrior one. Reach the arms upwards to the sky, lunging into that front knee. Feel the back ribs lifting away from that lower back. Beautiful. Root and ground into the feet. Feel all the muscles of the feet waking up. And then taking those elbows in front of the shoulders, left arm comes on top of the right. Wrap and bind. Inhale, lift the elbows to the sky. Breathe into the back. Just creating more space in the body. More space that we get in the body, more space we create for the heart, more space we create in our heads. So try to breathe into space. Try to find that you're creating more space with each breath. And then on our inhale, lift the elbows to the sky. And as we exhale, straighten the right leg, reach forward like you're trying to pull your elbows all the way forward towards the shin. And then holding just for a second. And then release the arms, hands floor, shin, or thigh, wherever they need to be for your body. Keep pulling the right hip crease back, left hip forward. Deep, slow breath. Let's take one more breath here. And then walking the hands back up the legs. Engage your core as you come up. So squeeze the belly in nice and tight. And then this time, let's open up to the long edge of the mat. Turn your toes in, hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, a slow forward fold. So go nice and slow. As you go slowly down, feel the feet grabbing, lifting up. Feel the backs of your thighs lifting up. Let your head get nice and heavy. Stay here with your hands on your hips. Pull your hips back with your hands. Create a little pressure to push the hips back with your hands. Feel your head pulling forward so we get a little bit more spacious through the spine. And then let your arms drop. Let the hands hang to the floor. And let your head drop. Maybe some movements in the neck just to release the neck once again. Feeling the backs of your legs lifting to the sky. All of that space opening. And then inhaling up onto our fingertips. Lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow again into that fold. In breath lifts us up. Exhale, fold forward. In breath, lift up. Walk your hands to the right side, to the right leg, right foot, and fold over that right side. Now you can just stay here and hold if you prefer to come in and out of it a little bit. Sometimes that helps us to get a little deeper, more comfortable in the pose. To add a little bit of a flow, you can do that. Good. Or just holding to that right side for one more breath. And then inhale back through center. Lift the chest. Exhale over to the left side. Take your fold here again. Nice big bow. Maybe we're flowing, coming up a little bit with the inhale, folding a little deeper with the exhale. Or maybe we're just holding. One last breath here. And back to center. Hands to our hips, lift the chest halfway, inhale. As we exhale, pull the belly in tight. Start to use the legs to lift us. Come all the way back to standing. Beautiful. Let's turn the toes out this time. So toes come out, heels come in. And we're going to sit down into our squat. So the knees are going to bend out to the side. Just getting comfortable here. And then let's add the arms. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, the hands down to the heart center, down to the chest. Perhaps we sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, just 2 more times like that. Arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, the hands come down to the heart. Maybe we can go a little deeper. Keep pulling the knees back. Inhale, feel the hips open as the arms circle up. Exhale, the hands down to the heart, maybe a little deeper. And then inhale, reach the fingertips to the sky. We're going to turn that into warrior 2. Let's start with the left foot first. Turn the left foot towards the back of the mat, finding your warrior 2. Making sure your right foot is in the right position. It's not kind of spinning in the opposite direction. Sink down and open the heart, open the hips, gazing over that front hand. Peaceful warrior, reverse it back. Inhale. Left arm reaches up and over. Big side stretch. Exhaling back into warrior two. Let's tip it over to side angle. Left forearm to the thigh. Right arm reaches up and over the ear. Again, another big side stretch. Or you can take that right arm into a half bind or full bind if that's where you are. Just a nice gentle practice this morning. Drawing that right shoulder back. Of course, this left hand can also come a little bit deeper to the floor. It's more demanding in your hips, so make sure that that is comfortable, right for your body, or stay up high. And then let's think about our exit. Coming out of this pose, straightening that left leg. We're just going to swap the feet around so that left foot pivots in, right foot pivots out. Back into our warrior two, second side. Big inhale, open everything up. The heart, the hips, reach through the fingers, look over that front hand. And then reverse it back. Inhale, right arm up and over to the sky. And exhaling back into our warrior two. Come forward into side angle. Forearm to the thigh, left arm up and over. And then here are our options. We can stay here in this big side stretch. We can take that left arm behind the lower back and find a bind. We can keep the forearm on the thigh or challenge the hips and bring the hand to the floor. Wherever you are, feel this left rib spinning towards sky. Shoulders relaxed. Away from the ears, the breath is relaxed. One more breath here. And then let's come all the way back up into our warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. And just step back into your downward facing dog, lifting the hips, stretching it all out. And we're going to come forward to our belly. So forward into our plank pose just for a moment to lower down to the floor, coming all the way down. Let your head go to the ground, firming down through the feet, pressing the feet into the ground to feel the legs firm. We're going to do a couple of Cobra poses here. So inhale, start to peel the chest away from the floor, firm the legs, opening the front body. Exhale as you release down. Now you can keep your hands exactly as they are. You can start to play. Maybe the hands go wider. Maybe they go more forward. And just take a few moments to open the body in our back bends. You can turn them into up dogs. Not copying what I'm doing, just feeling your body. What would feel good? How does changing the position of the arms change the experience of this? Let's do one more here. And then as we exhale, lowering all the way to the floor. We're going to come into our child's pose, pressing down through the hands, lifting up through all fours. Hips go back towards the heels, releasing the lower back. Nice deep breaths into the back body. From here, let's come to our seat into Badakanasan pose. So the soles of the feet together, knees open and apart. And make sure you have enough room as we're going to start to make our way down to our back in a moment. But first we're going to start Badakanasan, probably at the top of the mat. Holding on to ankles or to feet. Lifting through the top of our head. And if we hold here for a moment and the hands are far enough underneath the legs or ankles or feet, and we lift up through the tops of our head, we might feel a nice stretch through the side of the neck and shoulders. Breathing into that space. And we can stay here. We can stay with the spine tall and lifted, or start to bend your elbows to bring your chest forward. But again, see what's right for your body. Have no expectations of what you should be feeling. Just be curious of what you are feeling in each moment. And our bodies are so different. We are all having different experiences. The same pose, the same moment. And let's take one more breath here. And we're going to slowly rise, come all the way back. And then this time bringing our feet to the floor, knees bent. Reach the arms forward. Inhale, pressing the crown of the head to the top. Exhale. You don't have to sneeze, but lower yourself back. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Try to use the core as your brakes. Reaching the arms to the sky. Extending the legs. Big yawn. Full body stretch. Hug the knees into the chest. Little release for the lower back, letting the knees rock in and away from the body. Maybe making some gentle circles with your knees in the sky to make some circles and massages for the lower back. And we're going to take the feet down to the floor, having our heels underneath our knees for some bridge poses. Arms down by the sides of the body. Inhaling, pressing through the heels, rolling the hips up to the sky. And feel the whole spine starting to lift. Feel the weight coming into the shoulders. Exhaling to lower down. And release one vertebra at a time. Inhale, roll the spine away from the ground, lifting the hips, opening the heart. And exhale, release and lower. And once more, inhale. And exhale, lowering down. And we're going to hold this next one. So inhale, holding, lifting the hips to the sky. This time, try to walk your arms a little bit closer underneath your body. You can wrap or bind your hands, interlace the hands, and straighten the arms. You can hold your ankles. If you're close enough, hands closer to the feet, you can hold on to your ankles, lift the hips, and lift your heart here. We want to open the chest even more. So we want to really tuck under those shoulders for one more breath, either option. Hold in ankles or interlaced hands. And then slowly release. Release the arms, release the hips. And then we're going to take the knees open again, just like we did seated Badakanasan. Soles of the feet come together, knees open. Maybe the arms are just open to your sides like Shavasana. Or take one hand to belly, one hand to heart. And slowly feel your breath here. Feel the breath like a wave, that full yogic breath. From the belly to the ribs and all the way to the chest. Let's take one more breath here. Now we're going to hold the backs of our knees, pull the knees in towards each other, give ourselves a nice big squeeze. And then let's take that left foot to the floor. Right ankle over the top of that left thigh. Press the right knee forward and away from you. And pull the legs into the chest for our thread the needle pose, holding behind the left thigh. If you want something a little deeper than that, hold above the knee and the shin. And just finding that sensation. And finding your breath and uniting those two. Bring your breath into that sensation. And it's so easy in these quieter poses for the mind to start to drift off and take us on a joy ride. But see if it's possible to keep reining in the mind, to instead of letting the thoughts wander, to really deepen your experience in this moment. And the more we practice that here on the mat, the more skilled we get at doing that in times where we need it, in times where our minds wander off, where we stop enjoying the present moment, where we stop appreciating the present moment, living in future or past. Last breath here. Now we're going to release that left foot. Open the arms. We're going to turn this into our twist. So lift the hips up, swing them to the right side of the mat. Then let your legs come over to the left. That little hip swing is just going to help keep your spine in a more straighter position. So you're not at an angle as you twist. Maybe your head feels more comfortable to turn in the same direction as that left hand. Or let it turn in the opposite direction towards the right hand. Letting the shoulders soften and relax. And taking one more deep breath here. And then bringing the knees back to the sky, shifting your weight, your hips back to the center. Undo the legs. Let's come into that Badakanasan one more time, just for a moment, just to bring us back to that starting position. And then we'll bring the knees back in towards each other, feet to the floor, left ankle over the right thigh. Left hand presses that left knee forward. Feel that space opening here. And then turning this into our thread the needle pose. Hands holding behind the thigh or above the shin. And softening the shoulders. Feel them sinking back to the floor. And again, reining in the mind. Really heightening our awareness of this moment, of this pose, of all those nuances in our body. Noticing where we're holding tension, where we can soften and release that tension. And last breath here. And then taking our right foot to the floor, release the arms, lift your hips up, swing the pelvis to the left edge of the mat. Bring your knees over to the right side. And again, finding what is comfortable for your head. Maybe we twist the head towards that left side. I find sometimes I have to give a little untuck of the shoulder blade to create more space for my upper back. Often checking to see if there's any holding on we're still doing. Sometimes it's just the hands. Sometimes it's like we're holding something in our hands. Is it possible to let the fingers relax? And one more breath here. And then inhaling, taking the legs back up to the sky. Unravel, hug both knees into the chest. And we're just going to come into our happy baby pose to finish this off. We're going to open the knees, reach down, holding either the inner ankles. If it's possible to hold the outer edges of your feet, take that. Lift the soles of the feet to the sky. And as we lift the soles of the feet to the sky, pull downwards with your hands. Pull against the feet. Press the feet back up into the hands. You might find that evens out the lower back a little bit more. And a little rocking from side to side. And let's take one more breath here. And dropping the heels, dropping the feet. And we can take a moment in Shavasana, extending the legs out in front of us, arms, palms up to the sky, arms by our side. Slow, deep breath. Just feeling the whole body relaxed. Noticing all the subtle sensations that you're feeling. And perhaps now there's a little more space for joy to flush into our being. As we move our body, we do so much more than just stretch our muscles, tone, lengthen. As we move our body, we are moving our energies. In Eastern traditions, they see the body as an energetic being. And these poses were designed to rebalance the inner energetics. That's why oftentimes, just by practicing, just by getting on our mat and moving for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, we feel the shift. We feel different in some way or another. Let's take one more big breath here. A big stretch and a big yawn, reaching the arms up and over the head. And giving yourself a big hug. And if by all means, it is the end of the year and you're feeling rather exhausted in yourself, you're so welcome just to stay there in that Shavasana and just take these next few moments to really rest and give yourself that time, that space today. If you feel you've rested enough and you're ready to come to your seat for meditation, then come up with me. If not, be happy as you are. If you are coming to your seat, do so slowly. Take your time, don't be in a rush. And get everything that you need to sit comfortably and to sit well. Maybe you're feeling cold and you want to put some socks on. Maybe you want a blanket or your hat. or your Santa suit. We're just going to come into a simple meditation today and just taking a moment to feel the breath, connecting to the breath. Feeling the body relaxed, the shoulders at ease. The meditation we will practice today is very simple yet very effective, very powerful for creating shifts. And it's known as the inner smile meditation. And it's not to say that all we should feel is joy. Positive psychology is wonderful, but also we need to validate when we're not feeling so positive. So this isn't about not validating how we're feeling, but it is about practicing positive, elevated emotions. And something powerful happens on a physiological level when we smile. By lifting the muscles in our face, it tells the receptors that tell the brain that something must be happening to create pleasure, to create joy. Then in turn, the cycle continues and the brain starts to produce more chemicals of pleasure and of joy. And it becomes this system, this cycle. So even if we're not feeling joy or pleasure or happiness, just by faking a smile, smiling and lifting the corners of our mouths, we might in turn start to feel a little more joy. We can fake it until we make it. So don't take my word for it, try it. Try to lift the corners, the edges of your mouth. Lifting them up enough so you can feel the muscles of your cheeks having to work. And as you sit here with a smile, just keeping our breath slow and deep. Notice if that smile, the tension in your face has created any tension elsewhere in your body, and allow that to rest. And just meditate on this smile. Let your awareness focus on all the muscles involved in that smile. Notice the smile just at the skin. Notice how the skin lifts, maybe wrinkles in some places. Notice the smile through the muscles involved. The way your face changes shape. Then begin to notice that smile even deeper, even beyond the face and the skin. Notice that inner space of the smile. What's behind the smile. Notice if the more you focus on the smile, the more you hold the smile, the easier it becomes to smile, perhaps. Notice that smile in your heart. The smile still remains on the face, but notice the space of the heart. If the heart is smiling, is it possible to smile from the heart? And what about the belly, the abdomen? Noticing that space, awareness here. Is it possible to smile from our bellies? Just as we laugh from our bellies. Notice that smile through your whole body. And just taking one more breath here. And as the experiment comes to the end, just noticing, one, if you held the smile for the whole time, you have to make it work in order to see the effect. And if you did, just notice the effect and the difference. Perhaps just that little smile gave you more reasons to smile, even if there was resistance in the beginning. Perhaps it got a lot easier in the end. And just bringing the hands to the heart. You can rub your hands together if you're feeling a little bit chilly or cool where you are. And let's bring that warmth to the muscles of our face since we held that smile for some time. And just giving a little rub, a little massage to the muscles of the face, around the jaw, around the eyes. And thank you so much for coming and for practicing, for looking after yourself. And have a beautiful day. And just know that sometimes it's okay not to feel okay. And we have lots of tools in our toolbox to pick and choose from, to borrow from one another. So if you need any of my tools, just reach out and I'm more than happy to share. Thank you so much for your presence, for your contribution and your festive spirit. And I hope you have a beautiful day.